today's episode is going to be about a recently described, or at least when we're recording this, recently described dinosaur by the name of Suskityrannus. It only took them about 20. It only took them about 20 years to describe this.
Yep, do that.
But yeah, it really had a lot of hype in the community prior to its release because of several appearances it's had in documentaries, despite having been undescribed. We'll get to those later. But basically, the story behind Suskityrannus is
it also holds a very special.
Yes. The story behind Suskityrannus, it was first found in 1996, the first specimen. A pretty poor specimen, which was identified as belonging to a dromaeosaur. Same family as Velociraptor and all that. Then later, in around mid-2000, around then, they found a second, much better specimen, which allowed them to realize that it was actually a Coelurosaur. It is.
Coelurosaurs, but
okay, they realized. Yeah, it was a more basal Coelurosaur, correct.
They realized that it was a non-raptor Coelurosaur. Like, as in, it was a Coelurosaur, but it definitely was not a raptor.
Yeah, and because of the small size and everything, they must have thought, it was probably basal. But then, as time went on, and up until today, or rather a few days ago when they released it, it was slowly discovered to belong to a small tyrannosauroid. So the same family as T-Rex, obviously. Actually, let me just share a picture of the animal now that we're talking about it. So this is what it looked like, as per the recent press release. So very small. We're still a bit unclear as to the adult size because the only remains we have are of juveniles, but it probably will not have exceeded 3 or 4 meters. And now Rexy.
There might be adult remains. It's a possibility because from the same place that Suskityrannus comes from, there is another tyrannosauroid that is larger in size. Now, we don't know about its actual size. We just know it's larger than these juveniles. Yeah. It's a tyrannosauroid, and it hasn't been determined. We don't know if it's Suskityrannus or if it's a different. But it could be a Suskityrannus. It could be an adult Suskityrannus. Sadly, we just don't know its size.
Yeah, the only source we have for its existence is from 2010. Not much has been said about it since, sadly.
There is another paper as well. I don't know if it's older or newer.
Yeah, but yeah, very little. It's only just really described as a larger tyrannosauroid. That's all they describe it as. Still unpublished. But yeah, prior to being named recently, Suskityrannus went by many different names, such as Zunityrannus, the Zunicoelurosaur, the Coyote of the Cretaceous, and Fred.
Fred is the best name.
Obviously, yeah. So it's called Freddy. But there's your binomial right there. So yeah, and it really became famous after an appearance in the documentary wait, before we get into that, just one comment about the name. So the name Suskityrannus means coyote tyrant. Suski being the word for coyote in, help me out here.
Sorry?
What language?
Whichever one the Red Indians spoke, I guess.
That sounds really racist.
Zuni, obviously. Zuni. Okay, it's obvious, yeah. The Zuni tribe, I believe.
Yeah, it's Zuni.
Okay. Should have been kind of obvious, but yeah, considering it's from the Zuni locality. But yeah, so I like it a lot, personally, the name. Generally, I felt the Tyrannus was a bit generic, but the combination of coyote tyrant works pretty well because it conveys the size and the fact that's relative to tyrannosauroids.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty descriptive. It's it has Tyrannus, which really does help place it in the right group without really getting awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Coyote is good for the size.
Coyote of the Cretaceous, which is also a nice nod
Yeah.
to it. And
Yeah.
it's
Describe
not as
it
awesome, bro, as some other names we had recently, like Dynamotera and Thanos. Moros less so, unless you really go into the origin of the name.
Etymology, yeah, the same with Lithronax, which is the etymology is awesome, bro, but the word itself does not convey it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And the specific name, which is Suskityrannus hazeli, is for Hazel Wolf, wife of Douglas Wolf, who helped out and contributed greatly to the excavation, preparation, and all of the work that went into Suskityrannus. So yeah, and
it's not. It wasn't. It's not very like back when it first got featured for the first time. Not gonna reveal it yet.
Yeah,
it was something that people kind of thought was made up.
Yes. Okay. Oh.
This is like a very early model.
Yeah,
wow.
That's the first. That's back when it was called Fred. So that's very early 2000s. That's like 2004 at the latest.
Or Dinosaur.
I think 2004. Yeah, but that was when they found the second specimen, which they nicknamed Fred.
Yep.
Yeah. So now let's get into its documentary appearances. So starting it off, we have the first appearance made. We'll go into why there's multiple in the show when dinosaurs roamed America. 2001, I believe, the second big dinosaur documentary, following when dinosaurs were walking with dinosaurs. And let me get the picture. So yeah, so here they are.
Oh god.
Not exactly its first appearance, but yes, you could say.
Yeah, well, okay. No, it's not its first. It's one of its first appearances as the Dinosaur. It is the first documentary, let's face it, when dinosaurs were in America to feature it. That much is correct. I like the texture. I like the color scheme. It's fair. It's nice. It's vibrant without being ridiculous.
True.
It's got a very nice metallic sort of look to its coat.
Yeah. So all it's really shown as in the documentary is running around and eating a fish. I believe it just like picks up a fish.
Yeah. It only had like very few seconds screen in the show.
Yeah, and we'll explain why. A second.
But technically, it also didn't.
Yes. So, anyways,
It looks like an original unit, though.
But actually, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A much better picture. Thank you for that. You can see it even has little like pseudo wing feathers.
That really does look like an organism image.
Yes. I suspect it may be an adapted model because they do have an ornithomimus.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder. Yeah.
Yeah, they do
actually,
have
well,
like an ornithomimus model. They might have.
They did have one which just runs past. They might have just edited it.
Yeah.
So
Probably
yeah.
is a reproportioned model.
Yeah. And like they may have, I'm not even sure if they added teeth. You can't really see the teeth in the.
Yeah, they did add them.
They added them in the picture, but I don't know if they were in show. Remember, the picture may not be from the same.
Yeah.
The website image may be because, as we'll explain very shortly, the Dinosaur model was likely made last minute as a last minute addition to the show. Anyways, enough beating around the bush. Let's get to the whole gist of it. Let me share the image of the Dinosaur's other appearance. And this one is completely different. It is an unnamed dromaeosaur.
Which many people thought was simply made up.
Yes. Basically, within the show, first of all, these dromaeosaurs in the Zuni formation play an integral role in the plot. The entire segment is structured around them. Now, because unless you really do extensive research, like Rexy and I did, you won't find any evidence of dromaeosaurs in the Merino Hill Formation where this is set. You will assume that they are made up because there is no evidence for their existence. However, we soon found out that in the late 90s, like 1999, there were records of dromaeosaurs in the Merino Hill. And what was eventually confirmed when Suskityrannus was described and we got in touch with the people who described them, they confirmed that actually the dromaeosaurs are based on the first specimen of the Zuni, which, as we said, was identified as a dromaeosaur.
Misidentified.
Yeah, well, yes, misidentified given time, yeah. So Suskityrannus was thought to be a dromaeosaur between 1996 and 2000. The documentary presumably entered production late 1999, around the release of Walking with Dinosaurs. Now, as we said, within the mid-2000s, they discovered the second specimen of the Suskityrannus, and that is why they added the Suskityrannus in at the last minute, which explains why the Suskityrannus' roll is so short, why you can't really see the model. Presumably, it's not too a high resolution of a model because it's just an adapted ornithomimid model. And all of that. So the accurate, more accurate, or at least accurate by the time the show aired, version of the Suskityrannus was added last minute to compensate for the fact that they realized the dromaeosaurs no longer had a basis. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a similar case to the megarachnate from Walking with Monsters.
Yes, where in that one they retconned it at the last minute by identifying it in show as Mesothele, which was a made-up spider genus sort of thing.
No,
Mesothele is just a very vague term for spider. It's just a very big plate, as far as I'm aware.
I think it's
okay, right. So it's okay. But yeah. Ironically enough, between the two When Dinosaurs Roamed America designs, I prefer the dromaeosaur version, outdated, inaccurate as it is.
I am actually torn apart between the two because looking at the dromaeosaur,
you're tearing me apart, Lisa. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the dromaeosaur picture, the dromaeosaur version that you just posted.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at it, and I can't see a dromaeosaur in it now. All I'm seeing is Suskityrannus there.
Well, even if that is the case, I mean, I prefer the design.
I mean, it is.
It was very iconic for me, whereas I found the Coelurosaur forgettable. So yeah. So shall we move on to?
Appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2011, a documentary aired called Planet Dinosaur. This one really messed things up, I feel, because it features it has a segment again set in the Merino Hill Formation, and it features Nothronicus, which is a dinosaur known from the formation, and it also features a dinosaur they identify as Suskityrannus, which is Suskityrannus.
Suskityrannus is actually a made-up name for it that they made up in the show. It's an informal.
Yes, and it's not one that was ever used. It's not one that was used outside of the show either. It's one that the show entirely popularized.
Yeah, so it's not really its actual name, and it never was. But I guess one could argue that it can be, in a sense, a sort of common name, considering that for a long time it was only called Suskityrannus.
Sure. I guess I disagree with that personally. I feel it's only been it's only been 8 years, and no source like in major literature referred to it as Suskityrannus. But yeah, one could argue that it can be a common name. Yes. But either way, the Planet Dinosaur Suskityrannus. The model is a bit bland. Like it lacks any sort of ornamental features. The the arms are gone.
Looks like a snake, personally.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
It
Basically,
looks honestly more like a
this.
Megalosaurus, if anything.
Yes. Yeah. True.
Basically.
Basically, the only
I
thing
like the
about
color scheme though. I like that it's a muted color scheme rather than something sort of flamboyant.
It looks quite big if you look at it.
Oh, we're getting to this later.
Yeah, that's...
The size is ridiculous, but yeah.
They really upsized it in the show.
Yeah. Well, now that we brought it up, let's move on to the
To the elephant in the room.
Yes. Okay. So in the episode, the dinosaur, the Suskityrannus, as they call it, is shown attacking a Nothronicus because Planet Dinosaur is a very awesome bro show, even though it doesn't seem like it at first. And literally every segment involves animals fighting each other.
Oof.
Yeah, it's actually, in that respect, it's more awesome bro than Dinosaur Revolution. Because it's just the sheer constancy of fighting. And fighting to the death as well. Anyways, this is the animal that Suskityrannus attacks. It's a Nothronicus, a Therizinosaur, and this is an accurate reconstruction by Cizio Purple. Yeah.
So
it's
basically, Nothronicus and Suskityrannus have made like 2 appearances throughout media. Both been featured together.
Yes, because Nothronicus also appears in When Dinosaurs Roamed America, and again, it fights a Suskityrannus, albeit the Dromaeosaur version.
Because why not?
Didn't notice that.
Yeah, that's impressive. Anyways, and this is the infographic of the Nothronicus from the show.
Ow.
Which
Ouch.
It's huge. It's huge.
Oh my
It's
God,
like they took the hip height of the accurate Nothronicus by Cizio Purple, as displayed by Cizio Purple, and moved the hip height with the shoulder height. It's really big. So yeah, that shoulder height is a good 2.5 to 3 meters at least. It's 2.5 meters long.
Though. The tail.
Yeah, the tail. That's like Jurassic Park sort of weird tail position.
Anyway,
stiff as a board.
It's not like that in show, thankfully, but I think that's just the T pose. Anyway, so we looked at a clip from the show and we took a screenshot and we calculated the hip height of the Suskityrannus comes up fairly close to the shoulder, or at least the chest of the Nothronicus.
For a moment, I thought it was breaking its neck there.
No, it's just biting and then gets smacked in the face. But there are no perspective issues. If you actually watch the clip in motion, you'll see that there is no perspective, and they are actually pretty much on the same plane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that means that this Suskityrannus is well over 2 meters, is 2 meters tall at least, and is probably Eutyrannus sized. So that's 7.5 meters long and weighing in at around a ton. Now,
the size difference. Yeah, it's basically the size difference between this thing and what is thought to be the size of the real animal is pretty much about the same difference as the Jurassic Park Velociraptors and the real life.
Yeah, it's a very big difference because even if we don't assume that, even if we're a bit generous and we put Suskityrannus at, let's say, 4 meters long, 4.5 meters long when fully grown, that's still like a fourth of the weight at best of Eutyrannus, a fourth of the mass. So that's quite the upsizing, which I assume the BBC once again did for dramatic purposes, like they did with the Ornithochirus, the Leopleurodon, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's also scaly, which was fairly accurate for the time.
For the time, yeah.
Yeah, because you didn't actually have Eutyrannus then, which was the tyrannosaur that revealed that at a size of greater than 1 ton, you don't lose feathers, which is what was sort of the consensus, pretty much. That they would have followed modern mammals by losing weight at around 1 ton, which isn't really the case.
Because back then, feathers were basically kind of like treated the same way as fur. And feathers and fur both work differently. Fur takes in temperature, increases temperature. Feathers can pretty much do both. They can increase and decrease temperature.
They're like the perfect adaptation.
Yeah.
Hashtag Archosaur supremacy.
Yeah. So those are the 3 appearances made by Suskityrannus. All of them were unnamed, with the exception of Suskityrannus, which I just completely made up a name for. So what are your thoughts on the 3 appearances?
Oh god. Confused. Torn apart.
It's really 3 really different
Yeah,
designs.
they're really different.
Man, we have 3 very different and very generic depictions with the first generic Pseudoraptor, generic Raptor, generic Tyrannosauroid.
True.
Yeah.
Neither
to
really
be fair,
stands out in my opinion.
To be fair, Suskityrannus itself is fairly generic. I mean, it's basically just Moros that just lived a little bit later.
I mean,
but Moros was also only discovered last year, so
not last year.
I was really gonna say that, Akira.
It was described this year. Like it was described something like February or something, if not March.
I think so.
Yeah, it was this year.
Yeah, February. Yeah, February of this year. They described Moros.
Also, I mean, Moros is pretty much just half a leg. This guy, Suskityrannus, still has better material.
Let me get up the skeletal by
Scott Hartman.
Yeah.
It is very good. I really like the skeletal that he did.
Yeah. No, Scott Hartman does great skeletals.
Let's not lie here.
Yeah, so that's a very different remain.
Different from all the appearances. Its head. The last one, I feel like it's just kind of a snake megalosaur type dinosaur.
Yeah. That's because they based the anatomy on the the skeletal mount from I think the Arizona Museum of Natural History. Because if you compare the skull of the Planet Dinosaur one with the one from the Arizona Museum of Natural History, you'll realize that they pretty much have the exact same head shape. Because we pretty much don't have the full skull.
We don't know if you look at the skeletal of the skull, only the red parts are preserved and the yellow tip at the beginning. We also have a little bit of the blue there, but we don't really have the full shape of the skull, and even this reconstruction is a composite of multiple individuals.
Though you can see that the bottom jaw is quite thin and in the appearance it's like a T-Rex bottom jaw, kind of like a which just makes it just really chunky and not at all what it actually is.
Yeah.
It's a bit lanky.
Yeah,
so basically compare this skull with the Planet Dinosaur one.
Okay, yeah, that is closer.
Yeah, but it is quite small.
Yeah,
I mean,
they really, unless there's like a massive twist pulled and this is the larger Tyrannosauroid, which it does not seem to be, because the Zuni Institute of the Geological something, just a second.
Geosciences.
The Zuni Dinosaur Institute for Geosciences have said that Suskityrannus was a name that was used for Suskityrannus, and this is the only source of Suskityrannus, as we said, of the name. So they've confirmed in doing so that Suskityrannus equals Suskityrannus. So this is Suskityrannus.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say, given the knowledge at the time, that this is the poorest reconstruction, simply because in 2011 you should have known it would not look like this. The
True.
dromaeosaur reconstruction was accurate because they designed that when they thought it was a dromaeosaur. And when they discovered it wasn't a dromaeosaur halfway through, they introduced a coelurosaur, which again was accurate for the time.
I mean, it's when dinosaurs roamed America, like almost every aspect of that documentary, almost still holds up to this day.
Yeah, I mean, we've already discussed their Dilophosaurus in the previous video. That was insane. But yeah. Okay. So yeah, I would say the best, by today's standards, the best reconstruction is still the When Dinosaurs Roamed America coelurosaur of the three, because it actually looks closer. Like, even if you retcon it as a juvenile, it's really accurate.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It has feathers, so...
Yeah, it has feathers.
And the coloration is quite nice.
Yes, the coloration is nice. Yeah, they've even got a better skull shape. It's much, much better. So I would say that one is the best one from an accuracy point of view. My personal favorite is the dromaeosaur. Granted, it's because of the role it plays. The coelurosaur is only a cameo, so it's obviously going to be a bit forgettable. The dromaeosaur, though, is really... It plays a big role. It's the first... Okay, here we go. Rexy?
Oh, yes.
Yes, you can go for it. Go for it.
Yes. This is the reason why I love this dinosaur so much. This dinosaur pretty much holds the special honor of literally being the first ever non-avian dinosaur to be portrayed with feathers in televised paleomedia. Like, literally, of all the dinosaurs, which one would you expect? This is the least expected one. This guy didn't even have a name for 2 decades, yet it was the first ever to have feathers. Not only like just in paleomedia,
documentaries,
but even inside the show. The show.
Yes, that's the thing. Like, a lot of the show's animals have feathers. The Noctronicus has feathers. The the other coelurosaur has feathers. The Ornithomimus has feathers. They all have feathers. But this one is the first one to appear within the show. So the moment it walks on screen is the first time a televised CGI representation of dinosaurs had feathers.
That is really, really interesting. You wouldn't expect that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing that makes it so special.
It's pretty much completely special. Even if you take away that bit, it's still special because of the whole...
You're going a bit Titano on me.
Robotic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you're better now. It's just sometimes. So yeah, so that was it for Suskityrannus, pretty much.
Oh wait, the model who was it made?
Oh yes,
we gotta mention that.
True. So this is the official model that was released.
That was like basically there when the Suskityrannus.
Yeah.
Which looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I like it. I really like it. It does look. I'm guessing this is done. With the it's made a juvenile. I mean, it's not the.
Yes, I think it's a representation of the specimens we have. Yes.
Yeah. Because it doesn't. It really does look more juvenile-ish with the big eyes and everything.
Just a second. Someone did a reconstruction where they did a speculative let me try and find it, where they did a speculative adult hunting a Zuniceratops. Oh, and that's when Rexy, we need to bring up the footprints as well.
Oh yes, the footprints. Completely forgot about that.
Yep. Okay, so wait. First of all, let's share the art. So this is art of. I'm not the only one who can hear like Rexy drawing something with a pencil, right?
I think it's Jojo.
That's Yo-Yo.
Yeah, sorry, Yo-Yo.
I had to. I'm stopped. I finished it. I'm sorry.
What were you drawing? The Suskityrannus?
Yeah, I'm going to send it.
Okay, yeah. Wait. First, let's discuss.
Yeah. That's
a hypothetical adult Suskityrannus.
Which is
the bigger one.
A larger, which is basically a larger version of the juvenile.
With a bit of a deeper snout as well.
I like it.
I feel the snout might be a little bit too deep. I mean, the phylogenetic analysis did find it quite similar to alliraminids. Having said that, most alliraminids are all juveniles as well. So who knows? Maybe they just didn't have an adult phase. Maybe they just died the moment they hit sexual maturity.
Of course.
It also has to be said there are multiple phylogenetic trees that were included in the material. So this isn't the only one, and we also have to kind of question it because those trees included stuff like Nanotyrannus outside of Tyrannosauridae, which is the first time I've heard of that idea. We also have Raptorex in it.
Which I'm like, I get Nanotyrannus more than Raptorex, to be honest.
Yeah, Raptorex is even more questionable. Nanotyrannus.
There's literally no scientist I'm aware of who argues for Raptorex's validity.
So I personally would argue I think there's one of the phylogenetic trees that places it much further down at the root of Tyrannosauridae, and I think that one is much more likely.
I agree. And I don't think the adult would have had such a deep snout. That's my one issue. Like, it would certainly have had a deeper snout than the Hartmann skeletal, but not by that much, I feel.
I mean, is Scatman skeletal still a juvenile?
Yes, I believe so.
Scottman. Jesus Christ. He does mostly base his skeletals on individuals, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's why he has so many subadult Gorgosaurs and Albertosaurs, which has led to the misconception that the subadult reconstructions are actually the adult reconstructions.
I've been confused by that,
And that's how you get so many like super lanky and thin Albertosaurs, like Jurassic Fight Club, as we said, which is overly thin.
Yeah.
But yeah.
By the way,
so
sorry. Oh.
Okay, so we're just taking a short break. We'll edit this bit out.
Okay, that's perfect for me because I have to edit the photo.
Okay, Whereas
let's just wait.
Yep.
Yes, we'll have Armin sing for us.
We're at 30 minutes, by the way. We're only 30 minutes in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not. We didn't talk that much, so.
Well, to be fair, there's not that much, but we're. Okay, just for that, Armin, I'm including all of this.
Yes, thank you.
Everything.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, tell me when I can post it. Summon me.
Okay, anyways, one last thing I noticed about the Zuniceratops art.
Mm-hmm.
The Zuniceratops, quite accurately, does not have cheeks.
Oh.
Oh boy.
What?
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 Yeah.
Didn't the paper say that like muscular cheeks are what they would not have? But
No. It also, we'll get to that in another video, which we'll do on yeah, we'll do
Oh
it.
boy, I love this.
Yeah, we'll do another video on misconceptions like that. But actually, although the paper
How
does
can you continue?
Okay, the paper does go focus on the muscular cheek, which was a thing apparently. But it also says that the only ornithischians to have had actual skin cheeks would have been ankylosaurs, and all the rest had lips.
The hell?
It says that. What?
Now, I find it hard to accept that an animal that can chew would not have lips, would not have cheeks.
I get that too, but I mean that is what he argues for, that it would have been more like lizards.
We gotta talk about it, specifically about that.
Yeah, we've got a couple of stuff
Because
we can talk about.
didn't, with all the controversy and all the people.
Oh yeah.
I didn't really get what had happened, so it would be very nice to.
Thankfully, I avoided the controversy and I just read the paper, which I'm happy about.
That is the right way to do it.
I'm not
But
even
yeah.
sure what paper we're talking about right now.
The paper on ornithischian jaws. Anyways,
Okay,
off
I think I
topic.
might have skipped out of that one entirely.
Back on topic. So
One more thing.
Yep.
Tassel scoots.
It has tarsal scutes.
Oh god.
It's approved. But yeah. So this is actually based on an actual trackway that was discovered and described back in 2017 or something, if my memory serves me right, from the Moreno Hill Formation. It describes three Coelurosaurs, like theropod footprints, which are most likely Suskityrannus, moving through mud, along with a Zuniceratops.
Oh, so that's what this is based on. Okay.
Yes, this is the more exciting interpretation, because
we have evidence for interaction between these two, whether it's hunting or
no.
No,
the thing is, the hunting implies intent, but because it's just footprints, it's possible they would just happen to be there at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I said. There was some kind of interaction, whether it's hunting or not.
They may not even have interacted. They may have just like passed each other by or something. There's no guarantee. Maybe the Zuniceratops even left the scene like a couple of minutes earlier. We don't know that for sure.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
it's just a footprint. But it does suggest, at the very least, that there is a strong chance that these three were actually moving together. At least of the theropods, that is suggested. That they were actually a group is one theory that's not as extreme as the hunting one. Still not 100% certain. But yeah. So yeah, that's another thing that I only heard about it from a tweet regarding the artwork that just came out. The artwork in question. That was done following the release of the paper,
which was super nice. That was a super nice painting, like damn.
Yeah. Anyways, Yo-Yo, you want to release your artwork now that we've moved on to artwork?
Okay, 1 second. There it is.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I'm impressed.
Oh, damn, that looks great.
Thanks. Yay.
Damn. Wow, and it's even footprints. Wow.
I
didn't even know about that.
Got that by chance. I got that by chance. Whoa. That's awesome. Oh, hell yeah. Shut up.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, like I included that turtle because why not?
Because turtles are awesome.
Because turtles are awesome, and
because there are actually some aquatic animals preserved there.
Yes.
But I don't know if turtles are one of them, but there are aquatic animals preserved there, fishes mainly.
Well, time to check paleobiology database, which
like
is
the
best means. Just one shout out for paleobiology database. Best means to find out where something was discovered.
There was a turtle. Wait, how was it named? I gotta check. One second. I'ma check. But I actually followed the. There's only no. There's a skull. There's a skull of the turtle and a shell. I think there was a leg as well, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to check how the name was. There it is. Okay, there. Not entirely sure how to pronounce that. Naumichelis? I don't know.
Naumichelis. Yeah, I would say that.
Okay.
That's not quite the formation, but yes.
Oofus, but oh well.
Okay, that's the best reply to whenever you get something wrong. It's like oofus, but oh well.
But oh well.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, I actually.
I think this is the second best response behind. You may like it, you may be wrong.
Yes, that is the second best response. But the thing is, how did I get the footprints right? Oh my god. I actually haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah.
And I included the juvenile as well.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that's very nice. So,
thanks.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't see what else we have to say about Suskityrannus.
Is there anything left to say?
Yeah, I think we're done with most.
The name was leaked a couple of days early.
Rexy completely lost his mind.
Definitely not by me.
You.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was Reddit. It was Reddit. Wasn't it?
It was his evil twin.
Yes.
King Mexi.
Yeah. Precisely. Yeah.
Queen Rexy.
He somehow knew my password.
Bro,
okay.
do we have anything else to say?
Nope. I mean, there's not as much we can say here as we can about Dilophosaurus because there's not that much about the creature itself. Mainly, it's just, I think, closing words. I don't find the creature itself, like as it by itself, it's nothing like mind blowing like Dilophosaurus from a sort of anatomical, like biomechanical, all of that.
It's actually just it's cool and all.
It's Moros, but slightly more recent.
But it's not like it's
the history that makes it interesting, basically.
It's the history and it's the location. It's an extra piece in the puzzle of this amazing formation.
Basically, but it's nothing. It's nothing like too impressive by itself. It's not something that changes.
Basically, has cultural significance in a sense, like a very little one, but not like main cultural, but No,
like it does have its significance is mainly cultural because it has had 3 appearances.
It's got a paleo-media sort of subculture thing.
And I think especially thanks to Suskityrannus, the planet dinosaur appearance, which just really blew it out of proportion, as some might say.
Oofus, but oh well.
On that note, we will wrap it up here. And I'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, Kiro just ran off.
He just yeeted himself out of the voice chat.
I don't know why I actually left. I don't...
For dramatic
Did you not hear Rex's sounding like Waluigi?
No, I just got back here. Well, I'm downloading that right now.
You just yeeted yourself out of existence.
Right, so what we're doing now is basically a sort of addendum, a little addition to the end of our Suskityrannus video. Because basically, since we recorded that video, Hazel Wolf, who worked on the discovery of Suskityrannus, Hazel A, and whom it is named after. I mean, her name is the species name of Suskityrannus. So she wrote about the uncovery of Suskityrannus and its backstory and how it was and how it came to be. And she also discusses what happened with the Discovery Channel and the When Dinosaurs Roamed America Suskityrannus appearances. So I'm posting the link to what she wrote in the description. Basically, what she says is that in 1997, they found the first specimen of Suskityrannus. And in 1998, they found the second specimen. The team, mainly James Kirkland and Douglas Wolfe, thought that it was a dromaeosaur, a raptor.
Yep.
Then when Discovery Channel came along, telling them that they wanted to depict the Merino Hill Formation in the documentary When Dinosaurs Roamed America, they told them that it may be a raptor, but cautioned them that they weren't sure and that it would be best to depict it and that they didn't want to commit to saying it was a raptor. What did they say? I'm going to quote. Yeah, until it was prepared, it was an unknown animal officially.
Well, basically.
The reason why it hadn't been prepared yet was because the stone it was found in was basically hard as concrete. So they couldn't actually excavate it and find the bone themselves. However, Discovery Channel decided that, with time running out, that they were going to risk it and decided to depict it as a raptor. Discovery Channel also paid them, and the money went towards getting the equipment needed to actually prepare the specimen. And once they prepared the specimen, they realized that it wasn't a dromaeosaur, but some kind of coelurosaur.
Oofus.
Unfortunately, by
some
that
kind of non-dromaeosaur coelurosaur.
Yes, true, but dromaeosaurs are types of coelurosaurs.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the story and the visual effects work were too far along in production to change, so they were stuck. The Discovery Channel was stuck with the raptors as an integral part of the story, and they had the models and the animation and all that. So to compensate, that is why they added the coelurosaur in at the last minute, so that they could still have an accurate depiction of what was known as the Zuni coelurosaur. So pretty much what we said, except it sort of clarifies that actually both specimens had been found at the time when Dinosaurs Roamed America started filming and started production, and that the issue was that due to the stone, the stone they were encased in,
couldn't be too sure.
Yeah, and they assumed it was a raptor, and Discovery Channel decided to risk it, and then. But I think I can find it in my heart to forgive the Discovery Channel because they did pay them enough money to actually find out what it was.
That is cool. That is cool. I respect that.
Oh, hey, he's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yo had to he his internet died or something halfway through, but we I edited it out so smoothly that none of you realized.
We will see about that.
Yeah, I hope I did. I don't know yet. Future me. But yeah.
Did you guys end?
We finished. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was basically it. We just wanted to clarify on sort of the timeline with regards to the discovery of Suskityrannus and its involvement in When Dinosaurs Roamed America. So yeah. We hope you stuck around. If not, well, you don't know
Thanks
any
for
better.
laughing.
Yeah.
What is this outro? Like, what? Just don't stick around. We'll Cool, I don't care.
Yes. Thank you for sticking around this far. You get like a special sticker. You're better than all those who just like gave up at the 10-minute mark.
Your comment gets a heart. Just say
you get a Carol's love.
Yes. Okay. So like, if you watched until the end, what should they say?
I'll pay you with my love.
Okay, if you make it to the end.
Wrong episode.
If you make it to the end, just say like dab, and then we'll like type a comment.
Yes, and if you write dab in the comments, we're gonna give your comment a heart.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
because we know you made it this far. So
yes,
congratulations for that. So.
Yes, and thank you as well. We appreciate it. Okay, bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Well,
bye.
Wait, what was that? What was that bye after everything?
Awkwardly long silence.
Bye.